Hey everybody. So yesterday, some friends came and picked me up. And sorry, I'm a bit slow this morning because, man, a buddy had brought some really strong, I think it's hashish, and man, just one hit, and I was fucking really stoned, and so yeah, it just, I spent the, like half the day with them, and got really fucking stoned, and it was a very nostalgic day. We went back to Awatuki where we all used to hang out and fucking party and get in trouble and have fun, and and it's interesting how, for me, like socially, like I felt pretty good, I mean, it was a bit of awkwardness just initially because it's like, I mean, just being in my situation and, seeing my old friends from, I mean, I've known these cats since we were 15 and 17 and, just for like 20 years and shit. And, they got their houses and their situations, and I mean, they're still growing and learning too, but, I could feel, there was an awkwardness there because like they picked me up and I got my bags and I'm, homeless and shit. As I look back on it now, I think I was picking up on a lot of their, kind of empathy for my situation, and, they kind of don't, it was, they were beautiful. They came and just was good company. They bought me a bunch of cigarettes, and, we talked, and I shared with them why I'm here in the project and these things. And a buddy of mine had, I mean, he's, from a certain perspective, he's right. You should try to start small and then build with that smallness into something more, and I've heard this before, and it's something that I've thought about a lot. But again, for me, my heart, yeah, I could easily just try to do the pizza parlor thing with hemp and nonprofit, but what I know about hemp, what I've discovered with my spiritual journey, and the questions, like I've put these questions out into the ethers for a long time. Like, what do we do? What does it take for humanity to change? What's the blueprint? What's the code? What's the pattern that can really transmutate this shit into something else? Like, these are things that I put forth years ago, after a couple years of watching the 13th Sun and just getting my knowledge up and my health up, my strength up, I've just continued to use my imagination to seek the answers and to look out on various, from talking to friends and family to, seeking online just to see who else is out there that has a similar type of passion or has some type of idea or knowledge on what we can really do to change this shit. Because I've always felt in my heart that we can and we will, and it does take a lot, but at the same time, it really doesn't take a lot. It's kind of like the word of Yahushua, like, it's challenging, but once you really embrace it and go with the flow and have trust, like, shit comes to you, and it's actually very easy, and you find yourself becoming much lighter, much more loving of a human being in everything that you do. And again, this is what the project is all about to me, is, implementing the word of Yahushua into some type of a real societal business. I mean, it starts with a business strategy. We use the business in the city and the systems, and we use that to expand and create a whole new infrastructure. Now, my buddy brought up a good point. He's like, you're gonna have a hard time finding investors if your whole idea is to go against the system which they're dependent or, and incorporated in with. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I never even thought of it that way because, my whole angle has been a spiritual warfare. It is a spiritual strategy. It is a way to bring about a different spiritual essence in everything that we do. So the only type of investors that are really going to be able, that it's going to work well with, are people who are truly, from the heart, really about this spiritual game, whether it's, Christians or just somebody who's in tune with love and a higher power and wants to help out humanity, but they really got to be about it in their heart. They can't be, it's not going to work if you're looking for profit, if you're looking for some type of a monetary return. That's not going to work. It's all about spirit. It's all about energy. It's all about the greater good for everything. So, you know, when we were talking about these things, I was stoned, and when I get stoned, I get very introspective, and the shyness comes out of me, and, you know, I started getting like a little weirded out, like, man, what am I doing here? Like, you know, like, it wasn't anything against them. They're beautiful, they're fine, they're awesome friends, and in a lot of ways, it's kind of like, you know, we all kind of look the same, and like, you know, we're here smoking. Like, it was a lot of like, you know, when you go back and you do things in your past that you did in your past, like pretty much the same way, it brings about that similar type of energy. And a lot of times, you know, hanging out with people and friends and families and stuff, I'd always just feel myself kind of out of place, because it's hard for me to relate to people. Like, you know, like they look at me like, man, are you like homeboy asked me, like, are you happy? Like really asked me, like really, like, are you good? Like, I was like, damn, like he really is like concerned about my well-being. And it was beautiful to see that, you know, and the love was there with everybody. And, you know, I just, I told him, yeah, you know, I mean, sometimes I get a little sad and weary and beat down and stuff, but honestly, this is happier for me than living in the cities, you know, not just my parents, just in general. I've never fit in with the house, the job, the fucking, you know, all the things that go in that you have to do to maintain that lifestyle. It's never felt right to me. It's never felt good to my heart. It is what it is, man. And I've tried fighting it. I've tried using drugs and porn and movies and all these different forms of escapism to cope with that insatisfaction, that incontentment, that lack of a true divine connection to my heart, you know. And it's led me to a fucking hellhole of destruction, because it's not where I need to be. It's not where I want to be. It's not really where I should be. This is where I should be. As, you know, awkward and lonely and sad and even, you know, painful as it is sometimes, this is it for me. You know, and it's just difficult sometimes when you come across friends and, you know, they're trying to help you out, but at the same time, it's like, you got to be careful, because, like, you know, part of me wants to believe them and be like, oh yeah, you're right, I should just do something simple and fucking get a job, and I'm thinking way too big. And, you know, they're not even trying to like perpetuate that doubt, but just from their perspective, that's how they feel, and they're being real to themselves. And I get that. It's, you know, it's totally fine. They're just doing what they got to do, and they are trying to help me out. They did help me out. They didn't try. They came and gave me company and smoked me out, gave me cigarettes, and it was just there, you know. And so it's nothing against them or anything. It's just from my perspective, it was a little strange, and I'm sure it was strange for them too. But, you know, getting back to like starting small, like, yeah, that's something I have thought about, you know, many a times. But the hemp, what it can do, it just has so many possibilities. And the more I learn and see about money and the way it affects people and the way it takes away from creativity, love, and just good social interactions, I mean, the list goes on. And all these jobs that we perform, if they're exploiting from the land and they're selling it for more than it's worth, that is allowing evil in. And you have strip clubs all over the place, you got gambling, you got all these violent movies, all these things that bring about a lower vibrational energy, bring about a lower vibrational spirit. So it is letting these type of evil spirits in and giving them more control over us, and essentially turning us more into them. And then when you fucking tack that on with the foods that are all processed, these are all things that are used to manipulate the human being. Okay, and this is why the project is literally designed to combat all that shit. The hemp realigns your neurons back to the original order, doing good works that are not profit-based, is going to combat all the fucking profit-based shit that it's going to do. And it's also going to bring about a good spirit, a more holy spirit, a more pure spirit. If you're trying to sell shit for more than it's worth, that's not being pure. That's you fucking being greedy. It is what it is, man. I know everybody does it. We've all become dependent on a society that is all about that. So it's going to take time to transmutate that, but we got to fucking look at it as it really is. And that is what it really is. So anyways, I'm going to continue coming on with more works on the project. It may be a little choppy and rough, but it's going to keep on going. And again, if my buddies watch this, who I hanged out with yesterday, just, you know, thank you for the company, man. Thank you for the help. And, you know, it's not, you know, this video, it's just me expressing how the situation went down, man. And when I smoke, it even brings out that introspective shyness and lack of confidence in myself and my project even more. And that's not y'all's fault, that's on me. You know, but as I woke up this morning, I just thought about how, you know, I just felt bad that I wasn't able to be more authentic. So anyways, I love you guys. Take care.